so awful it has me clutching my pearls. Let me show you how to fix that.
idcwoodcraft.com.
Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to hear that sound again. That was awful. To make that not happen again, I've got to take a look at my feeds and speeds. I've been running on the IDC Woodcraft base feeds and speeds, but those are adjusted for an alt mill. This is a lot smaller machine. It is what is considered a desktop machine or a tabletop machine. That squeal, awful. Chatter, awful. Couple other things to look out for is rubbing or burning. Rubbing is close to burning. Burning will be the end of rubbing. Chatter, it kind of sounds like everything's jostling. The terrible sawdust, it's powdery. It should not be powdery. And it's making me sneeze. I'm done. Bad. Just bad. That's all I know right now. I just know that is bad. And then how your machine is moving. You can generally see how your machine is taking feeds and speeds by how it's moving. It'll move slower, rougher, maybe even jostle a little bit when it shouldn't. That is it rejecting the feeds and speeds. So I've got to go in here and fix that so we can get rid of that noise, get better chip load, and hopefully not hurt the machine in the long run. For this test, I will be testing the 1/8 inch downcut bit and the 1 inch surfacing bit from IDC Woodcraft. The settings I will be adjusting during this test will be the feed rate, the cut depth, and the spindle speed. And if you're interested in the 1/8 inch compression bit, the 1/8 inch downcut bit, or the 1 inch surfacing bit from IDC Woodcraft, you can get those at the link below. Now, taking a look at the 1/8 compression end mill from IDC Woodcraft, there's a pass depth of 0.125, a spindle speed of 16,000 RPMs, feed rate of 50 inches per minute, and a plunge rate of 35 inches per minute. Now, those settings are going to be the variables from which I change to start adjusting the feeds and speeds to a more proper running rate. I'm going to be starting on the 1/8 inch downcut bit from IDC Woodcraft. So if you want to attack this the proper way, it's going one setting at a time. So to do that, I've got my symptom and causes cheat sheet here. So we're going to attack the worst one, for example, squealing, because that was terrible. That means we've got rubbing and bad chip load. To adjust that, I'm going to start with bringing the spindle speed down. I've got a 2 horsepower spindle. I don't want to screw anything up by changing everything inside the tool database. I'm going directly into the tool path and clicking edit on that bit. I'm going to run this at 20,000 since it's sitting at 22,000 RPMs. I would like to adjust it down more, but I don't want to too aggressively change any of the settings. Little by little, inch by inch. I'm starting with the RPMs because with all that dust and all that squealing, attacking one at a time, with all that squealing, that means that that spindle's spinning too fast for how quickly the entire gantry is moving. So for the movement versus the spindle speed, they're not lining up, and it's more shaving than chipping things out as it's moving, creating all of that squealing. My thought is by slowing that RPM down, we'll get that to spin a little bit slower. It's going to bring in a little bit bigger chunks. It'll fix our chip load a little bit and bring down that squealing, hopefully. I'm going to be using a slightly smaller square so that way I can keep using the same wood to test out this feed and speed. Really sure if the squealing improved at all or much. The chips look slightly more chippier and less dusty. So we may have fixed one problem while attacking the other. Not fixed, but adjusted. Back to the computer. So in my little scientific journal here, I've noted down test 1, the setting that I changed. I'm not writing down every setting every time, just the one that I'm changing. and my observations thereafter, which is little to no change. So let's do this again. Sticking with a single setting change, I've got RPMs set down to 18,000 now. We'll see how that sounds. If not, I'm probably gonna pick a different setting to play with. So what I can say is that squeak felt more tuned. Less wee 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 and more wee, you know? Call me crazy, but I feel like that squeal had a bit more of like a tune to it. Like it's tuned in a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep going that direction, bump it down another 2,000 RPM. And then if that hasn't fully adjusted the squeak, I'm gonna attack a different issue, different setting, and we'll go from there and see how it changes things. Bumping it down to 16,000, which I know the Vectrix chip load is like way off, but it's only moved it up 0.0004 in the chip load. Like Vectrix chip load is way off, so like you can't really rely on it, but still the fact that it's only moved it up 0.0004% is a little crazy. That was definitely sharper. So I think the right move is to move on to the chip load and see what that can do to the noise from here. I've run a few more tests and I'm pretty happy with the RPMs that we have it set at now. Next, I'm gonna attack the chip load. We've collected some samples from the previous carves of the chip load that it was giving out, but they need to be a little bit more chippy and a lot less dusty. So next, to attack that setting, I'm going to change the feed rate from 50 inches per minute to 40 inches per minute. A little more chippy-ish. Back to better than it was, but not quite as good as we had it earlier with the RPMs at 18,000. Now for this one, I adjusted the pass cut depth, and I actually think it did something. We've got a lot more chips going on here. If you look out here on the spoil board especially, you can see we've actually got chips, not just powder, that's being shot out. Obviously with the down cut, it's going to chop up some of those chips anyways, but I think we're getting closer. I could definitely almost already talk over that one. There's still a bit of a whine, but it's gone exponentially down. Chip loads look amazing. I'm honestly not really sure where to go next, but I think we're close. We're getting really close. With that last adjustment, it brought that squeal from a tuned pitch to just the squeal of metal being forced through wood. I could talk over it, I could tolerate it, it was much better. The thing that I'm not quite satisfied with is I feel like the chips went back a step with that last setting change, if not the last two setting changes. Here I've got the chips from the last two. This one was 16,000 RPMs, 45 inches per minute, and a 0.1 depth of cut. And then this one was the 16,000 RPMs, depth of cut 0.08, and 45 inches per minute as well. So, since we bumped the feed rate down so much in the beginning with one of our first settings, I'm going to start playing with that again. We've adjusted slowly but surely the RPMs as well as the depth of cut. So I'm going to make one last adjustment to that feed rate, bringing it back up to that 50 to see if we can get these chips a little bit more satisfying. We've got 8, 16, 45, changing the feed rate to 50 inches per minute. Inside the tool path. That was definitely not the fix, but at least now I know. I'm gonna go back to my other settings and keep it at that happy medium and move on to the next bit. I'm pretty satisfied with the settings I've got for the 1/8 inch down cut bit. Now it's time to move on to the 1 inch surfacing bit. I will admit, I did pull that back slightly in the fact that it was only cutting a 0.1 depth when its per pass cut depth is 0.125 on the IDC Woodcraft settings. So, either way, I really felt like that was going to break in my face. That was going to be a new experience. Let's fix those settings. The IDC Woodcraft tool database settings are 10,000 RPMs, 150 inches per minute, and a 0.125 depth of cut with a 7 inch per minute plunge. Starting with the plunge rate, I feel like that's very conservative. I'm not gonna touch it. Feed rate, very much not conservative. I feel like that's probably the first setting that I should attack. The RPMs don't even seem to be too high. Maybe once we get more into the chip load, we'll have to mess with the RPMs. I'm kind of scared to jump it down a whole lot, but honestly, I think I'm gonna jump it down to 120 inches per minute. And I'm gonna change 2 settings. Just in the beginning, I'm gonna change 2 settings. I'm gonna bring, nope. Let's start with the pass depth. That was like the big bad. Okay. That's what I started with when I initially tested it, and then I went to feed rate. So with that, I'm gonna be changing the pass depth cut, because honestly, had I run it at full-fledged, I really think that bit would have bent or broken in my face, and we've come so close. So let's take it way far away. Even at the 0.1 depth of cut that we were doing over there, it was very aggressive. So initially, we're only bringing it down a 0.025. My thought by bringing the pass depth per cut down, it will bring a lot of that chatter down, maybe fix the sound chatter and the chatter marks on the wood. I feel like that went a lot smoother for the depth of cut. It's still not putting out the greatest chips, but again, I'm not focusing on that. It's not terrible, it's not great. Like there's powder and there's chips. So, I'm gonna clean this up, and then I think I'm gonna leave the depth of cut at that and start with the feed rate next to see if we can get rid of a little bit more of that chatter. I think it's pushing it too fast. I changed my mind from there to here, and I'm gonna mess with the RPMs before I mess with the feed rate again, bringing it down from 10,000 to 9,000. flip this board so we can surface the other side and have a clear slate to see now that we're down below the 1/8 inch testing. The chips are a lot better, but there's still some chatter marks. But we've also been giving this tape a run for its money, so I'm just wondering if it might need reattached down. So I think I'm gonna run that again on the other side. And if you wanna try out this X-Fasten woodworking tape that I've been using, you can follow the link below for some of your own. So, this actually answers a few things. Give me a second. So what this does tell me, because there was no marks coming from this direction, is that it's probably a tram issue. I think our feeds and speeds are good. I love the chips it's giving out. It's giving out nice slivers. It sounds good. It doesn't look like it's struggling. So I think before any more feeds and speeds testing, I need to retram my machine. Kind of put it to the test with these max speeds. And with that, my feeds and speeds testing are done for now. There's a lot more bits to go, and I hope this was helpful for you on testing out your feeds and speeds for your different sized machines. If you're interested in a tool database for the feeds and speeds for a smaller desktop machine like mine, comment down below. Maybe I can work with the boss and we'll get something out there. If this video has helped you at all with figuring out your feeds and speeds, click that like button and subscribe for more content from me in the future. If you know of a better way to attack figuring out your feeds and speeds, comment down below and let me know so I can put a little less madness to my mess here. With that, I have more testing to do, and I'll see you next time on IDC Woodcraft. Ready to learn more? Go to woodcraftresources.com.